Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Game Corner. My name is Tony, I'm your host, and this is an episode of This Week in Gaming. So let's get started. Before we get going, I want to say that I am a Twitch streamer, so be sure to follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/TonyGriz, TonyGrizz. You can also follow me on YouTube, just add an extra Z there, and also follow my Game Corner podcast, of course. Here and on YouTube as well, as we have a video version that goes up every single week. All right, guys, so this week's discussion is really just the status of gaming in general, but mainly we're going to talk about BR, so Battle Royales, as in my opinion, we either need a new one or we need to spice up the ones that we have. So I'm going to kind of review the three that we have, and I want to hear your opinions as well. Definitely leave a comment on this, as I really look forward to hearing what you all have to say. So there's three real big BRs that I think about when I think about battle royales in general, and the three that I play. I know there's a few others out there as well, and definitely if you guys play a different one, let me know. And this may be an unpopular opinion: Fortnite, of course, Warzone, and then my personal favorite, Apex Legends. Now, we'll start with what is probably the most watched, besides, no, probably just the most watched game. I think it was number 2 in 2020 on Twitch, which is Fortnite. Let's talk about what they do really well. Is they definitely keep things very fresh. They do these partnerships with all different sorts of things, right? They just had a Marvel event, which I personally participated in, and it was actually a lot of fun. One of the things that Fortnite does super well is get their community involved in what's about to happen. And now they're doing things with Kratos, Master Chief from Halo, and there's a bunch of others that they're doing as part of the Hunter pack edition. So it's really exciting and cool to see that happen. And then of course, if you didn't notice, or if you didn't see, Greg, or GREFG on Twitch, definitely shattered the viewer record. I think he had like 2.4 million viewing him at one point, which is wild and crazy when he got to unveil his new skin in Fortnite. So congrats to you, my man. I will learn how to pronounce your name. I do apologize for that. Moving forward, what does Fortnite do really well? They keep the game fresh. They swap weapons in and out. They have a lot of different skins. You can customize your skin now. They do a lot of different things to make it so that the game doesn't get stale in terms of how it's viewed, and even how it's played. They change the map pretty often. They add new things. They take things away. They bring back old things. Old places, as we were reintroduced to a new Tilted, but Tilted nonetheless. And it's a lot of fun to be able to see the game evolve and be able to kind of throw it back, as well. As I remember hot drop and Tilted, and having a lot of fun doing that, sometimes walking out of there, sometimes, or most of the time, not walking out of there. So but a lot of fun either way. So those are some of the few things that they, or some of a lot of things really, that they do really well. I think that all in all, Fortnite is the best BR at the moment. Not necessarily my favorite, but definitely the best. And probably one of the coolest things about it is just the way that the game is played. It's changed so much, and it's evolving ever still, and it's pretty cool to see how these professional players adapt to what's happening within tournaments, to the gameplay, to the new meta, to the new weapons. And it's a lot of fun. So really cool that Fortnite does that. Now let's talk about something that maybe they could do a little better, or something that we wish was a little different. From a competitive standpoint, there's not a lot of money in Fortnite anymore, which is crazy to think about, in my opinion, because when Ninja blew up Fortnite, obviously there was a lot of other people involved in that as well, but we all know Ninja was a big driving factor, and we watched Bugha win the the World Championship solos, and obviously Tfue and Cloaksy won the duos as well. Some of these big names that are still around, still doing a lot of great things, and it's that was huge, right? What was the fifth? well, there was like a 14 or 10-year-old kid that like walked away with over $100,000. That's really cool to see. Um, a lot of these different success stories and whatnot came out of that. I believe it was 2019 actually, the World Series of Fortnite. Might have been 2018. Correct me if I'm wrong. Either way, not that long ago, 2-3 years ago, and now the competitive format's just not there. There's no money involved. They're not paying out anywhere near as much. And I don't know if that's because people are buying less in the game or not enough people are viewing, but it can't be the viewership, as it was again the second most watched game on Twitch in all of 2020. And I didn't look on YouTube to check the stats there, but I know it was second on Twitch, which is pretty impressive. I think it was right behind Valorant. So I'm not really sure what they exactly need to do, but they need to be able to get these pro players some more money, get them more involved, and just get content creators involved in general, right? You have people like Cypher PK, who's a long time legend of the Fortnite community. He still definitely puts up Fortnite content all the time, but he lost some of the big ones, right? Ninja's not really playing Fortnite that much anymore. He's playing a little bit of Fortnite, but not a lot. He, we have Nick Merckx, guy with the guy who had the world record for most kills for a long time, and I'm not sure if he still does. I haven't looked at it. Tim the Tatman, Courage JD, all these real big name, Cloaksy, right? Tifu, they've all kind of left Fortnite. They've gone to other games, mostly Warzone, and they're not playing Fortnite anymore. They came back. I watched Nick Merckx come back for a little bit, but it wasn't I haven't seen him play since early December, so it's been over a month now. And maybe it has, but I haven't seen it. So they've got to figure out some way to get content creators, get people involved, get that excuse me, get that competitive community back up and running. That way it draws more interest into the game, gets more people to play as well. I even picked up a game or two, recently. It's still a lot of fun. I think the one thing they can do, and I think they did really well, I don't know, but increase the speed of play. But I think they've been doing that. So I'm not sure what else they can do on the game side of things. Maybe bring back the pump shotgun. I know a lot of people are asking for that. But they need to figure something out. They need to get more, bigger names involved here. The viewership is going to be there, and get bigger names involved, it's only going to go up, right? So they just need to do a little bit more, as I feel that as these prize pools go down, less and less people are going to really want to play Fortnite, which is a shame, because I do think it's a great game. I think that competitively and just overall skill, it's probably the most difficult and most challenging game to really get good at. There's so many things you have to be able to do well to be a good player within Fortnite. So that's my take. Let me know what you guys think of Fortnite, but we'll go on to the next one. All right. So then we're going to talk about Warzone. I've played Call of Duty since the original original Modern Warfare. And I played Big Red 1, but I had no idea, I don't remember how old I was, but I played Big Red 1 way back in the day on the old PlayStation 2. But, I've really been playing online since Modern Warfare 2 days. And, what a great time that was. Now they've evolved. They've brought Treyarch. They've brought Infinity Ward together. They've even added another creator, Sledgehammer. Sorry, stumbling over my words a little bit, but they brought in Sledgehammer as well. Infinity Ward did a great job, I thought, with the original Warzone, obviously alongside Activision and Raven. But what I don't understand. Actually, we'll pause for a second and we'll talk about the good things about Warzone. So, the movement in Warzone is great. It's that classic Call of Duty feel. You've got a lot of different movement techniques, movement skills to be able to get around the map. You have vehicles to be able to fly from one place to another easy. The pool of people is awesome, right? It's the biggest one, 150 people with a gulag, so the ability to come back even after. And now they do a lot of different things within the game as well to be able to keep people engaged and keep people in the game, maybe even a little bit longer. Really, really good job by Infinity Ward, Activision on that side of things. They have a lot of different weapons, a lot of different weapon options to be able to choose from, and I think that's really cool as well. They started to bring in some maps. So the only one I actually know of is in Scrapyard, where they have the map Scrapyard from MW2, which I thought was really cool. They got to put that map in the game, as well. So it's a classic Call of Duty game. They just made it into a BR, and I mean, I absolutely loved it. First night was playing it. It was amazing, so much fun, and I still play it today, and I do absolutely love the game. Because I love Call of Duty as a franchise, and I'll probably never get away from that. So they definitely have that base of a following to be able to grow off of, and every big content creator that grew up playing Call of Duty has adopted into the Warzone. Or adopted into Warzone, really. So they have a huge leg up on every other BR from there. So that's really cool to see too. Now, let's talk about what they could do better. And we have a long list of demands that we want, right, from Raven and Activision, right, as a billion-dollar company. Let's just start with the first one, with the big one, an anti-cheat. In order for this game to be viable competitively, it needs to have an anti-cheat. They're always going to be able to pay out big money, which is fantastic. However, a lot of people are just falling off because they don't want to have to deal with hackers, and if they are streamers, stream sniping, and I'm not going to argue with them. I think that I agree, right? I don't play the game anywhere near as much as they do, and people who are playing in tournaments, that is, and I've been hacked down multiple times, and it's not like I don't know what I'm doing. I'm literally getting ADS'd on my head around a wall, and I'm dying in 2 seconds. And it's honestly comical because Activision is such a huge company, billions of dollars worth, and they don't have an anti-cheat for their game. It's kind of sad to see. And again, in order for this game to be viable competitively, they need to figure that out first. So that's the first thing. Next, they have to make more weapons viable, right? Every single time they do a nerf or a buff, they don't give any love to, they actually don't really buff guns. They just nerf guns, right? So obviously we just got out of DMR zone, and now we're kind of trying to find the new meta. Might be the PKM, it might be the M4. MAC-10 is still around, which I actually not complaining too much about the MAC-10. I think that you can use the MAC-10 or the MP5 and still be competitive within the game itself. But they give no love to, the Modern Warfare AUG or the P90 or, any of the, some of the other, the SA-80, 87, some of these other weapons that just the Odin, right? They just don't really get any love, and it's like, you have them in the game. Why don't we do more, right? And then some of the other things that they could do is just add some of the old Call of Duty guns, right? The Scorpion from Black Ops 2, the UMP from the original Black Ops, right? Or I'm sorry, not the original Black Ops, Modern Warfare 2, right? Some of these other guns that they could just bring in and swap in really quick. If they did it like Fortnite where they swapped them in and out, it could make the game a little bit more fresh, right? Imagine if they just took out the Modern Warfare M4 and they brought in a different M4 from a different game, right? Or they took out the MAC-10, brought in the Scorpion, right? Something like that, where they could just keep the game a little bit more fresh. They don't even need to take those guns out. They just need to add these other guns to it, right? Bring them back, give everybody, really what they want. And in that sense of things, I know that's a lot, probably a lot to ask on a coding perspective. But at the end of the day, that there's everybody just finds one weapon that they really like. Right now, I actually really like the meta of Warzone, as we don't really have one, right? Again, you have the M4, you have the PKM as kind of the AR or the LMG. The DMR is still a viable gun as well. The Kar 98 is always going to be viable, and then the submachine guns. There's really like three to pick from: the Mac, MP5, either MP5, um, or maybe the MP7. So you have about four submachine guns, but out of a lot of submachine guns, right? There's a lot of submachine guns out there, and we're kind of just stuck with those four at the moment. So that's definitely number two, is to figure out a way to get more viable weapons in the game. And I think it would make Warzone a lot more fun, more playable, is people will grind those guns and have a good time doing it. And number three is something that they've already started doing, or did once anyway. They need to do more. Bring in some of these old maps and integrate them into the current Verdansk, or add a whole new map and be able to add some old Call of Duty maps into those, right? Like we have downtown. Why did we not put Skyrise in there? I thought that would have been a really cool idea. I personally loved Skyrise from Modern Warfare 2, and I would have loved to see that go in. Overgrown is one that a lot of people are requesting, as well, as that was a classic map. There's a lot of different maps that they could bring in, and they're supposed to be rolling out March 1st with a brand new map for the year anniversary, but I feel like it's a little too late, right? They've had, what is this? I don't even know, 6 seasons. Technically, we're on season 1 of the Black Ops version, but so this might be like season 7 actually that they've had. And it's just a little disappointing to be able to see that we're still on the same map. They added Rebirth Island, which I actually did enjoy the initial iteration of Rebirth Island, the trios version, where you can come back and they can get bought back as well. And yeah, I thought it was fast paced. It was a little more fun than playing a solos in Warzone, where you're just sitting and camping and you're afraid to go around the corner because someone else might be camping there. So I thought that game mode was a little fun. It did remind me of that Black Ops 4 Blackout BR as well, but I thought they did a lot better job with it. So I do think that is cool. I hope it sticks around, as it's kind of a fun, more arcade type mode to be able to play. But they definitely need to come back and bring some new maps. Some of these old classic, just like the guns, bring the old classic Call of Duty maps into Warzone. I think that would really spice things up, kind of give it that nostalgic feel, but also on a new level, as it's still a BR. It's not multiplayer level. It'll be more fun this way, in my opinion. And lastly, what I think they could do is just do a little bit more better advertising for their tournaments if they're going to have them. Right? Obviously, they have the CDL, but I never really know when a big Call of Duty tournament is happening until one of the streamers that I watch, whether it's Tfue or Nick Merckx, is going in and playing them. So that's one of the big things that I think they could do a little bit better of, is advertising these, whether it's on Twitch or YouTube, and saying like, hey, come watch your favorite streamer compete, yada yada yada, right? I think that would be, even on Instagram, right? If I saw that, I'd probably tune in. I just get these little like, hey, you want to do a Warzone tournament? It's like kind of weird, right? So I think it would be a big step up if they, did advertise that a little bit more, so that, people could pay attention, people could watch, people can, see how it's done, right? People who are interested, everybody, if you play video games, you've probably played Call of Duty. And if you're sick of watching whatever is on TV, probably tune in. So maybe do a little bit better job of that. That's kind of low on the totem pole, I'm sure, for them. But, in my opinion, I think that they could do a little bit better job of explaining or showing and detailing and marketing, when these bigger tournaments are that they do have going on. Now, last but not least, definitely not least in my book, my personal favorite BR, Apex Legends. Now, Apex Legends is probably my favorite BR for a few different reasons. Is it combines not only a skill of character but a gun skill as well, and it has the pick up and loot like Fortnite has, but more probably closely related to PUBG if you played PUBG. And I absolutely love Apex Legends. It's probably, it's definitely my favorite BR. It's the one I play the most over on my Twitch channel. So, definitely come over if you like Apex as well and check it out. But they could do a lot of things better as well, in my opinion. Make the game more popular, help get more people, get more streamers on it as well. And I think it would be a lot more fun this way, or a lot more fun if they did a few of these things. But let's talk about what they do well first. Some of the things that I think that they do really well is they constantly are introducing new characters. So bringing new characters just brings a whole new, feel to the game, a whole new meta, most times, as it is a duos or trios, traditionally a trios game. You're being able to find out which legends kind of stick together, which legends do well with others. And, it's a lot of fun to figure that out, play these different legends and find their new abilities and, learn how they work with your play style. So I do think that's really cool that they do, they're constantly every single season. So every 10 weeks or so, 10, 12 weeks, really, they're adding a new character to the game. And I absolutely love that they do that. One of the other things I think that they do really well as well, is they bring in, they change things up with the weapon meta. So, right now you can find a Kraber, you can find a Peacekeeper, you can find a Prowler within a care package or a world drop, and that is considered a world drop weapon. You can't find it on the ground. It's not floor loot. So I do like that idea. They keep rotating weapons in and out to just keep the game a little bit more fresh, keep it interesting, make you have to play a little bit differently on that aspect of things. So I do like that they do that. There's a few things I wish they would change about it, though, and we'll get into that in a moment. And lastly, they have 3 different maps, and they actually change the maps around as well to make it a little bit more interesting for everybody. So I absolutely love that they do have the 3 different maps. They have Kings Canyon, World's Edge, and the Horizon map, which I actually don't know the name of, funny enough. So I absolutely love that they do change these maps up on us. They do a rotation if you're playing public. It's every hour and a half it'll rotate maps. Right now they actually have, I think they have all 3 rotating through, which is really cool. Sometimes they don't, but I absolutely love that they bring these maps. They kind of again rotate them in and out. In ranked, you get 1 for each split. And I think that's really cool that they do that to, again, keep things fresh, keep the game interesting, and keep everybody going. Now let's talk about what they could do better. And honestly, it's kind of a lot. One of the things, in my opinion, that they could do a lot better, and this is probably my number one, not necessarily complaint, just something that I feel like they could do a lot better, is if they added just 1 more weapon to each weapon class. And then they do what Fortnite does, which is rotate that weapon in and out of the game. So if they added 1 more, pistol, shotgun, AR, sniper, LMG, whatever they're going to be called, and they rotate each of them in and out of the game, I think that would make the game a lot more interesting. Imagine if they took out the Hemlock or the Havoc, for a whole season and then brought it back, or even just half a season. They did it for the split, and then with the update, they realized, we'll bring it back. This other gun's, not that great. We'll shelf it, buff it, take it out, bring it back later on. Or they, because right now with the way that they do the weapon swapping with the world drops, I just don't think it keeps it interesting enough. As the Krabers are always going to be in there, which are just, we can talk about that in a moment. Krabers are always going to be there. The Prowler, which is a great weapon, is not always good. I feel that the great weapons need to be the best gun in the game, right? And right now, I feel that the R99 is better than the Prowler, and a Mastiff is going to be better than the Peacekeeper. So I think that they could either rotate those guns out, put them in, or honestly, just imagine if they just shelved the Mastiff and brought in a totally new shotgun. I think that would be really cool. I think it would keep the game a lot more interesting, and make more people want to play it. As again, they're changing things up and they bring things back, and I think it would be a lot more fun that way. Fortnite does this all the time. You see the adoption of like a fishing pole, or they do all sorts of crazy stuff. They have, like fruits and vegetables you can pick up, and they do different things. Like a chili makes you run faster, just funny. But they do all sorts of things, right? They had a rocket launcher. They, took that off. Right now, the pump shotgun is shelved, and people are a little upset about that. But they do these with their weapons all the time, and I really think that if Apex could definitely adopt this very easily, actually. The creation of the new weapons would be interesting, but I definitely think they could do it. Now, number 2, something that I didn't talk about with Call of Duty, but I do think Call of Duty does it well, and Fortnite does it exceptionally well, above and beyond what anyone would really expect, is skins. So Apex has a weird way of ranking skins. So they have regular ass boring skins. They have like the rare skins, the blue skins. They have purple, which are more rare, epic, I guess, and then they have legendary skins, which are gold. One thing I think that they could just do and these go for, and I apologize, these go for weapons and for characters themselves. So one thing I think that they could just do more of is add more. They need more skins for characters. They need ways for people to spend money on the game outside of the battle pass. And right now, I just don't think that, they do. I'll give credit where credit is due. They do these cool events like the fight night that they're doing right now. They had like a Halloween based event. They had a Christmas based event. And I do think those are really cool, but I think that they could do even more just by adding a few more skins for each character, and obviously designing them to be a lot cooler than some of the ones that we have now. And I think that would help a lot with obviously driving income for them, but also driving popularity to the game. Even adding, if they could, customizable skins, that I think would be really cool as well, or a way for someone to go on their laptop or PC to be able to create their own custom skin and bring it into the game. I think that would be really cool. Maybe give them a base skin and say, hey, you can change the colors or the torso and the legs and the arms and yada, yada, yada. And, one of the interesting things about the character itself. So I think that would be really cool if they did that too. Now, that's just my opinion. Some people may disagree with that, but I think that would make things interesting. I would pay, 10, 12 or 10, 15 bucks to be able to create my own skin. I think that's cool. And same goes for weapons. They don't necessarily need people to create their own weapon skins, but they need to add more weapon skins to the game, to make people want to buy them, right? And they also need to lower the cost of weapon skins. People would buy more weapon skins if they were $5 and not $15. So definitely need to lower the cost on that in order to drive adoption there. And last but not least, the last thing that I think that they should really change in the game is being able to buff some of these characters so that they're more viable. You never really see any ramparts running around in high ranked games because you're just not a viable character there. So changing around their abilities, maybe even just changing their abilities overall, to really be able to give that character a lot more use time and win ratio as well, I think would be really cool. Because I love, just as an example, I love Rampart's passive. She has essentially sleight of hand and a higher mag size on her LMGs that she carries. However, the barriers that she creates, they're good, but they can also be a death trap for you and your team if you do it in the situation, and the other players just know how to really counter that. And the turret just is not that good. It's really hard to aim, and it just, it definitely can rip through character other players, but it's super hard to aim, and it doesn't have very good mobility, and it takes too long to get on and off of that thing. You can get very easily sniped when you're on it. So you need to add either like a shield for in front if people are shooting straight on at you, and people can hit you from the side, or an easier way to aim that thing, because it's really just not a very viable ultimate to be able to use in competitive format, or even in just a ranked format in general. And then there's other characters that I think just need to be nerfed into the ground for a season, like Wraith. Wraith is a great character. I absolutely love using Wraith. I love when I have a good Wraith teammate that I'm playing with. Absolutely. However, Wraith is a broken character. She's probably used the most she's used on every single competitive team that I watch anyway, and she's really good. However, she needs to just get nerfed, right? Or I don't know, maybe recycle her. I don't know. Probably not that, but either make a character that can counter Wraith really well, or nerf her a little bit further. I know that they do keep nerfing her, and I apologize. Probably people who play Wraith are going to get a little bit mad at me. I have no problem with people that play Wraith. I absolutely love the character. Honestly, I would rather them just buff other characters than nerf current characters. But I do think that, as an example, not just Wraith, there are other characters as well. They could definitely nerf some of the characters that they have these huge win ratios with. Wraith just being one of them. Jibby is another one that comes to my mind as well. Now, overall, I absolutely love these three BRs. I've every time I've not every time I've played them, definitely gotten frustrated, but when I play these games, the first time that I played them, I've always had I always did have a good time, and I really did enjoy playing each one of these, and I still do. I still like Fortnite. I haven't played it in a while. Something definitely I want to jump back on, but definitely love Call of Duty and Apex Legends, as those are two games that I definitely still continue to play today. So let me know what you think down below. Definitely interested in hearing your thoughts and your comments on these BRs, or if there's other BRs that you really like to play, maybe I'll check them out. Played PUBG. I've never played Spellcraft, I think is what it's called. Spellbound. I can't remember, but I did see videos of it, and I do think it looks really cool, but I have not checked it out yet. So if there's other BRs that you play, definitely let me know. As that's definitely something I'm looking forward to. Now, overall, to be 100% honest with you, I'm just kind of waiting for that next BR to come through. I'm waiting for some developer, some company, or maybe an indie developer, whatever, to be able to come through and create some epic BR that we all know and love. Honestly, I really hope it's Halo, but if it's not, I really hope we do get a new BR, as some of these BRs are getting a little stale, and I would really like to just pick up my controller and play a new one. So let me know what you think about that idea as well. I'm always interested in hearing your thoughts. This is the Game Corner. My name is Tony. Thanks for watching and listening, and have a good one. Deuces.